Hello there, lovely good afternoon, and welcome to the Lunchtime Cafe right here on Camnet TV. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Joe Smart, and of course, today we delve into economic, national, social matters. And to help me discuss that, we went far and wide to get a member of the governing UPND alliance in government. And I'm talking about Mr. Msenda Simuyemba. He's coming from the Movement for Change and Equality. He is an alliance member and partner of the UPND government. Mr. Simuyemba, good to see you and welcome.
Thank you very much, Joe. It's good to say it's a very blessed day, and God bless Zambia.
Okay, it is a lovely Wednesday, but I'm sure many of our citizens, or should I say majority citizens, Mr. Simuyemba, share a different view. Why am I saying so? Because of the high cost of living. Let's begin from there. There is a great concern that the cost of living keeps on rising. Mr. Simuyemba.
Yes, indeed. It's very important that we acknowledge truth and fact. It's very, very important. This government is very, very alive to the fact that the cost of living is rising. And it has been rising not because of one linear issue or negligence, but it's been rising from a cluster of factors. Exponentially, you can begin from historical factors to economic management, and now what is called the global effects on sovereign economies. It's very, very important that Zambians understand this, because if we don't, we will even be accusing innocent people and innocent players in the game who are poised to cause and fix a problem. So it's very, very important that from the very word go, Zambians understand that it's a mix of factors why we are into this situation. I, for one, as a Zambian, I categorically understand and underscore what the cries and complaints are about Zambians. And I do also accept that we have the responsibility as an elected government to actually deal and sort out the problems that our people are faced with and challenged with.
Okay. Now, having said that, Mr. Simuyemba, you as an elected government, are you approaching this matter with the seriousness that it deserves? I'm asking this because a few days ago, the minister, I'm giving reference, we're not discussing individuals, I'm just referring. The Minister of Information is on record to having said that we need to embrace the current hike in electricity tariffs, for instance, the increase in petrol or fuel. We have to embrace that. All the economic challenges that Zambia is facing, we have to embrace that. My question to you is that, as an elected government, are you approaching matters of economic importance with the seriousness it deserves, Mr.
Socio-economic importance. I would say this and register to the public that we are approaching this with utmost importance and also utmost priority. Why am I saying this? It is very important for any subsisting government or administration to actually deal with the challenges of the people squarely. This administration has prioritized issues that needed to be sorted out for us to reach the bridge and cross the bridge. Yes, there was a lot of promises that we leveled, and we have not departed from the list of promises that we did ask the people to trust us on, and they gave us this mandate to govern them and be their leaders. Important of them all was the elephant in the house, which was what you would call a debt burden or a debt mountain. It has taken us long. It was beyond our capacity, and also, for lack of a better word, sorry, it was beyond our internal resolve. So we had to engage those we owed money. And this thing is almost a concluded issue. We promised to restructure the debt. That elephant in the house was a necessary evil to deal with. Those who don't appreciate that, they don't have homes to run to. They don't have homes to run. They don't have things that speak to what a debt is. And it wasn't contracted by this government. And we're not portioning blame to the previous regimes or the previous past regime. We are saying we have the responsibility, because of the mandate that the people of Zambia gave us, to deal with that, and we've put that behind. That having been done, we have now the responsibility to look at, since now this thing is restructured, how now do we deal with agriculture? Do we deal with employment? Do we deal with the infrastructure issues and other social requirements for the people of Zambia as they are faced with economic challenges?
My question to you, Mr. Sumuyemba, having given that elaborate background, I want to find out, are you then, can the Zambian people trust you, the UPND Alliance in government, that you are a listening government? Are you a listening government?
The answer emphatically is, we still ask the people of Zambia to trust us. Let them give us a benefit of doubt. 5 years is not done. When 5 years is done, that question will be very important to ask. We'll take stock. This is what we promised. And out of this, what have we done? What haven't we done? The president is on record. You elected me as Republican president, and you trusted me with this seat and this mandate. Can we have something like a checklist? Okay. Where we're going to say number 1 has been done, number 10 has been done, number 5 has, okay, out of 50 things that we promised, we've scored only 5. What about these others? What have you done? Why haven't you done them? So this is very important for our people to actually look at a bigger picture. Yes, indeed, our people are crying and we are listening. I'm here on the program. I'm not only a member of the Alliance, I'm the Alliance Secretary of 10 political parties, because the other 2 of our friends left. We'll come to that later. But what is key for the people of Zambia is to accept that we have these challenges. As in government, we've actually accepted that we have these challenges and we need immediate solutions, short-term solutions, medium-term solutions. And then we can look into the future, which is a long-term projection for the generations that are going to come. Because we can't just be talking about mid-meal today, and what is it going to be of our children and our children to come. So we must look at a holistic picture and the long-term intervention. The Chinese, it took them almost 80 years when they had projected 200 years. So Zambians, I'm begging and pleading with you that let's have a forecast of a long-term focus, that we look in the future and let us ban that the current challenges are not insurmountable, they are solvable, and we shall solve them. With these hands, Hakainde and these guys in government who are ministers and the like, we are going to solve these problems. That I can guarantee Zambia.
Fantastic, because you're on record. You are on record.
I'm very much on record.
Fantastic. According to your political calendar, President Sumuyemba, you have, as the UPND in Alliance government, 1 year, 5 months to sort out the social economic challenges that the country is faced with. You are on record assuring the Zambian people that come 2026, when your mandate comes to an end, you would have done almost everything that you promised.
Not everything. If we say everything,
not everything,
that
almost.
is an overstatement. I want to qualify this. As I earlier said, There are short-term interventions, medium-term interventions, and when you talk to medium-term interventions, 5 to 7 years. When you talk about long-term interventions, it can be 25 years up to whatever. The issue is that there are things that we need to do in the very, very short term. Let me just give an example of what is itching in the back. That's the mealie meal prices, which are skyrocketing. If we do not deal with production of maize, which is not a 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and deal with the value chains that come with the agricultural production of maize, coming into milling and coming to food on the table, which is mealie meal, I can assure you that we would have not done anything. And in these 5 years, the 3 years, I told you the elephant in the house, that had a very direct link to actually the production parameters of food. Now, here we are saying this, we've restructured. Part of it is that we have fertilizer, we have pesticides, we have also the marketing issues, we have also issues with milling and all that kind of thing. This whole value chain speaks to not only our internal issues, but also external issues. Now, if we are going to say that we can produce maize without fertilizer, then we are not being honest with ourselves, and we are being lukewarm. All the varieties of maize are actually linked with fertilizer. So it is this thing that we have to look also into the history. And if we look in the history, we've almost decanted for 60 years, decanted the generic food varieties. For instance, maize. Now we are here. We have got these hybrids, which are varieties which need fertilizer and whatever. This fertilizer costs so much money. If the bag of fertilizer is costing 500, how do you expect that the exponential cost of maize will cost anything less than 200 or whatever? But with proper planning, I can assure you that what we planned, if we deal with the input side of production, will actually navigate towards dealing the food prices to stability. The president was in Mpongwe. He assured the farmers that, guys, I deal with the debt. These issues pertaining to production are being interrogated vigorously. What is key, I don't know at what point the government and our friends and colleagues sitting in government can communicate what is in the pipeline, where we are, 10%, 15, 20%, so that our people can have some leverage of a comfort to say that indeed we are heading somewhere. I cannot preempt that because we've got colleagues we've tasked to actually be spokespersons on this and that and that. And we don't want to be a confusionist organization and regime where everybody can have a field day and go and say anything to the radio station. We don't want to do that.
Okay, fantastic. Let's leave it at that. But let's move on to the issue of load shedding. President Simuyemba, this in itself is a recipe for, others have termed it a recipe for anarchy, others have termed it a recipe for anti-production or productivity, if you like. How do you look at the current load shedding that the country is experiencing?
Agreeing with the complaints of the people, it is anti-productive. That is very much acceptable. And the whole government, starting from the president to the MD of ZESCO, are working around the clock to see how we interrogate that. In the last 3 years, I just want to remind Zambians, this situation we're facing, we faced it earlier before. In these last 3 years, there was load shedding, and this load shedding actually was sorted out. And the president came to record and says, we've sorted out this thing. It's a fixed thing.
So why is it back now?
Why is it back? Things that we can call the acts of God.
Force majeure?
Yes, force majeure. Rain, we've had droughts, and we've had issues that are beyond force majeure. There are issues that are generically managemental and corporate. There's also structural issues culminating from the contractual things that we entered into.
Okay.
We have obligations. I'm sure the managing director of ZESCO came and he shared elaborate things, and the Minister of Energy has also been on different forums explaining that these contractual obligations, we can't just throw them into the bin, otherwise it can attract costly issues and ghastly issues to us. Now, when were these things contracted? The generation capacity of this country is more than adequate to deal with the 20 million people and the industries that we have. However, and paradoxically, is that we went into contracts to actually export part of the power to earn a bit of money. At the realizing, I mean, at the time, we thought it was technically prudent to do that and financially viable to do that. Now is a situation where maybe the population was 16 million, we are at 20 million, and the industries have grown, mines have opened up, businesses are opening up. A lot of people have gone into business like shaving, restaurants, and you know, this is a push which needs immediate intervention so that we can see how we can turn around the effects of those who contracted, who didn't have this foresight for this elasticity of the production capacity that we had then. And we don't want to apportion blame. We are saying it's our responsibility to deal with it, because a couple of months ago, we had this kind of phenomenon. We dealt with it. Even this time around, Zambians should be rest assured it will be dealt with.
Okay.
It's not about beyond us.
Okay.
It's not about that.
Okay. So there are concerns that since you have admitted that it's anti-productive, there are concerns that this in itself is choking the private sector, particularly the SMEs. How do you respond to that?
That is correct. And what we need to do is to deal with the challenge as it stands.
Okay.
And I'm sure government is doing everything possible to deal with this. One of the things is as a mitigative measure, because you can't produce power from the vacuum. As a mitigative measure, we import to those who got surplus. The president is going countries to those friends of ours to even engage those guys we have these agreements with, to say, look, you guys, yes, we committed to this. Can we restructure this one? We can also breathe. You know, we had goodwill to you. Can you also have goodwill to us? We didn't foresee, that is the previous regimes which were there, we didn't foresee that there will be this exponential rise in terms of population and demand, or in terms of industry and the SMEs, which is a very strong intervention that we brought on the board. There was no SMEs, whatever. Now, we're trying to crystallize that Zambian people should be entrepreneurs themselves, and then they can grow into big industries. So that in itself is a push that everybody's doing 1, 2, 3 things, and they need power. Just like we're seated here, there's a lot of power. I was even thinking that there's a lot of lighting.
It might cut.
It might hurt, yes. But
we might be
you need to reduce so that we can give one guy who is doing the shaving out there, so that he can use the same power.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I know my producers are listening and watching. Let's come to the issue of the fight against corruption, Mr. Simeon. There has been a concern again, theories are being thrown around that the UPND alliance in government is alleged to be making deals, and I'm using the word alleged. There are allegations, claims out there that you might be making deals with perceived lawbreakers. Okay, we have seen, for instance, you the time that you are in opposition, you spoke about the previous administration of having looted this country of its national coffers, and you accused the previous administration of having been highly corrupt. However, not convincing convictions have come from our judiciary regarding those that have been accused or identified to have accumulated wealth that has been deemed to be proceeds of crime, Mr. Simuyemba. But let's begin to look at matters of corruption. Are you taking this fight seriously as an alliance government, Mr. Simuyemba?
Let's face facts as they are.
Please.
And the truth as it espouses itself. Corruption is a cancer, and it can be very endemic. Where we are, this corruption, I don't think collectively as a government we understand the depth of this corruption. We can be dealing with only 1 centimeter above the surface or below the surface.
Okay.
But it's kilometers down into there and you can't see it because it's so deep. This corruption hasn't started today.
Okay.
And the corruption by nature is as early as Adam and Eve were created, they were corrupted. 60 years down the line, when we got an independence and we're here, this has been a thorn in the flesh. We needed and we need, and urgently so, to radically interrogate this. And this should not come as a promise, this should come as a request to those of my friends who are sitting in government and have got the mandate to change this and that law. Having said that, and notwithstanding the same,
okay,
the president has just a few recent weeks with the Minister of Justice gone to plead with Parliament to actually accept the bills that we're bringing before Parliament as regards to the fight of corruption. This has nothing to do with politics.
Okay.
It has something to do with our character and our nature as a nation. This corruption, I feel, in trying to agree with the what is being said by the general public, I think we are not doing enough.
Why are you
as
approaching
a
it
sitting
with gloves?
government?
Why
One, because the laws that we found are so limited and inhibiting.
Okay.
Why am I saying? I'll give one simple example.
Okay.
Just the Anti-Corruption Act, the definition of public officer can tell you a lot of things. There are a lot of omissions as to who can be prosecuted under the definition of a public officer. But the president, up to a cleaner in government, they are all public officers. The guys into churches are public officers. The guys running NGOs are all public officers. Political parties, they are all public officers. But the act does not capture them.
Why not change it?
We are changing it, and there are proposals to change these things so that we can capture everybody into that. There is issues that come to declaring assets. You've heard a lot of debate about it, and people are saying the president is not declaring. Is it only the president who can be corrupted or can be corrupted? The answer is emphatically no.
Okay.
So let everybody in government do what we are asking the other person to do, and then we'll be able to deal with corruption as it will be, because we have a benchmark. I'm a cleaner today who earns 5,000 kwacha. In 2 years' time, as a cleaner, there is this. Lest we also need to change this definition of a public officer. Okay. Who is a public officer? So this is small things that can have telling effects on the fight against corruption. Having said that, my personal view as a citizen of this country is that, number one, the president has even been very lenient on the perceived culprits of who looted, who is looting, and who will loot. I think the president has been very lenient.
Okay.
He's a very lenient man.
Does Zambia need
we'll ask him,
president?
We'll ask him, President Hakainde Hichilema, to stop being lenient and stop listening to what is called political persecution. Let him look at the law and effect the law very, very emphatically and stringently. Because this corruption has brought us where we are. Okay. This debt mountain is all corruption. The issue of the so-called influence is all corruption. So when we look at corruption, we are dealing with actually the assassin to socio-economic welfare of a Zambian person.
And that does not sit well with you?
It doesn't sit, as a citizen, it doesn't sit well. We need to up our success. This fight, even the criminals are walking down the street because they are trying to hide behind the lacunas of the law. That's what they're trying to do. Yes, there are certain things, certain provisions that has been brought, and there are new things, but I think Justice Minister, listening wherever you are, please help the president so that we can put more fine-tuning and screws so that the culprits can be brought to book. We are not focusing on the previous regimes and the previous government. Let everybody, including the people who are serving now. The president said corruption yesterday, corruption today, and corruption tomorrow is corruption in all, and they will be visited by the law, and anyone who is found wanting will be on his own. He's got no time to protect anybody. Me, I believe his word. I believe his word. And that's why I stand firm today to say that, President, can we up the game? If it means wiping out the entire of whoever served, let them go in jail. We've put mattresses, we've put good conditions of living in jails. Let them go. If they are ministers today who are involved in corruption, come on, let the president relieve them. Let them be arrested so that they go to jail as well. Because we cannot loot the treasury of a country and then allow the people to be complaining, and we say those are just mere politics. Those are not politics. It's something to do with life and death. So let all those who have, who are doing, who will do, go to jail without exception or...
So, President Sumiyamba, according to you, in the fight against corruption, there should never be scapegoats.
Even sacred cows.
Sacred cows.
They shouldn't be.
Okay.
Why should it be? Then the rule of law has collapsed. Then it's a banana republic. If I have stolen, let me face a brand.
Okay.
If somebody has stolen, regardless whether a minister or what, we have presidents who've gone before court for corruption. Didn't Kaunda get arrested? Didn't Chiluba get arrested? Of course, Manawasa died. Sata died. Banda was arrested. I went to see what will happen to Lungu. It's not special. If he's found to be wanting, man, let the law apply to him. There are no politics here. Yes, we know we have one past president who is alive, and we have one president who is still there. But if he, Lungu, is found wanting, I mean, who are we to say he shouldn't be prosecuted because he's a former president or he's the only president living? No. If any minister in this government or past is found wanting, let them be arrested. That's what the people are looking at. Then we'll be applying the rule of law effectively and equivocably.
Okay. Why let me ask you this question, Mr. Simiemba. Having armed with that information, and you have observed this quite clearly, why are we not seeing that? Are you not seeing that time is running out on your part as the UPND alliance in government?
I'll repeat
President
something.
Simiemba.
I'll repeat something. We found laws that had lacunas. If we engage to get Mr. Joe onto this particular charge, he will come out on this. Don't forget that government has got the whole Attorney General and the technocrats.
Exactly.
Who are lawyers. And they look at it and say, if we go this way, then we'll look at this and we'll end up this. I'll give a classic. Look at, and I don't insinuate that he was corrupt, but the liquidator of KCM.
Okay, Mr. Milingolungu.
Yes, if we look at what the Liquidation Act was defunct and then the Insolvency Act is now today, and the lacunas that are associated with liquidation, you will see that actually it was practically impossible to convict this man. If at all he was found wanting, he was wanting, because the act itself was structured in such a way that convicting a liquidator was here. Many Zambians don't even know that a liquidator fixes his own remuneration. Have you ever seen such a thing? That was in the law.
That was enshrined in the law.
Yes, read the Liquidation Act. The liquidator gives himself a remuneration.
So I'll be getting 100 million.
I'll be getting 100 million if it's there, 100 million, it's there in the law. Now, here is somebody who said this, and he made it into an agreement, gave the Attorney General, and gave the government then to sign, and they signed. Him even went further to have them sign all this agreement. I'm not discussing the nitty-gritty of this. And then you say you've erred. How can you be erring? In fact, I would say that man is even kind that even brought something back. Yeah, through the deal. I don't know the nitty-gritty of it, but trust me, when you look at the law itself, it's got so many lacunas. It's this when they look at the facts and they also look at the provisions of the law. We will go to court, this person on a technicality will come out. If he comes out, then we would have lost. So it's better to engage this particular person. We're sharp of a shimo. Okay, 32 million. Okay, we shall 24 million. In between any pension. Chapwa. The law is not, it's not been created now. So we need to fine tune these pieces of whatever, so that at the end of the day, it's skin tight. So that we fight it.
President Simiemba, your government, your alliance government, is a government that is full of lawyers.
Yes, like any other government.
But this one is comprised of a lot of lawyers. The UPND.
Did you check what was in Manawasa's government?
This particular one. This particular one, Mr. Simiemba. But my question though, my question, Mr. Simiemba, is why are we not seeing vigorous or enhanced law reforms being initiated from your government? Because you have identified that there are lacunas in some pieces of legislature that we currently have.
That question I may not be able to answer adequately, but I would just like to appeal to the Attorney General and our privileged legal brains in government to try to push the Justice Minister so that we can have these bills that will speak to these things. When I'm saying this, some people come here and say, no, that guy is just a layman and all kind of thing. But trust me, a lot of acquittals are on account not of corruption in the judiciary, but on account of the charges that are given to these people, and on account of the system of dispensing this justice, and on account of the law itself as it stands. I've given you a very simple example. You charge somebody under the Corruption Act, when you say a public officer, the lawyer will come with technicalities and say, can you define what a public officer is? And if he doesn't qualify, why did you charge him under this? Then the whole thing is thrown out because it's irregular before court. So this, what our legal brain should be practical, and they should be facing these things as they are. Because the cry of the people, we don't need to be lawyers the whole country. But there are few people who have this kind of skill sets, and they need to look at these things. Why are people still crying? Why is it that it should take 7 years, 20 years to put finality to Katerina Kalumba's case? My child was born, is 40 years, and 40 years, that's when he's learning that Kalumba has finally been convicted. Come on, it's a mockery of justice. And I think our friends in there, the Chief Justice is on record. A lot of things are being done, but of course, as usual, the nursery of opposition political parties are always criticizing that there's nothing that is happening and all that kind of thing. Wait maybe for this year and next year, these convictions which were started, if they start happening, these convictions, I think they will put ease to the expectation of the people. And I think an appeal to our brothers and sisters who are dispensing this justice, let them try to put a bit of fucker speed so that adjournments can be put to a stop. We don't need the adjournments, the lawyer is sick, no, he's going to attend to Supreme Court and all that kind of thing. We don't want that. When they come, let them have time frames where they sit and agree this day and this. If you are sick, look for other law firms that can help you to come and sit in for you, so that at the end of the day, we deal with these things conclusively. There are a lot of matters that are before court. So that those who are innocent, let them be, so they can move on with their lives. They are free people. But those who have committed crimes, let them not cross over in case for some unlikely event that in 2026 there's change of government, they cross over there and then they say, not to Peter. Then they can be free on a technicality of association with the so-called ruling party. I think we should have the culprits jailed as quickly as possible. Of course, also rushing justice dispensation can also be a human rights issue. But I think our friends should strike a balance so that this fight against corruption can actually be dealt with quickly. Maybe on the other side, those who have looked at the proceeds of these crimes, economic crimes, the issue is that, do we want to just have a person convicted? It's a question that Zambians must also help answer. Do we want people just convicted, or we want to recover what was stolen? The recovery of what was stolen is even more complex than conviction. It's more complex because thieves by nature do not do things in a linear way. They do things, Bwana Joe, if you can come to court and listen, the matrices of the crafting of these crimes, you even wonder whether the magistrate or the judge understands these complexities, because it's crafted. I don't know if it's a gift. Some people are gifted to steal, and you know. Anyway, let's see what happens with what is in court and what is about to enter court in the next 6 months and the first court and second court of next year. I think there will be definition in that direction, especially with the new law, the new amendments and the new laws that have come into place, so that we can deal with these things. We can deal with these things.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simiamba, as we begin to wind up your session, let me find out the issues that border on KCM and Mopani. There has been a cry on the Copper Belt. When is Vedanta coming? We are told the matters are being settled outside court. Vedanta is coming back, but we don't know when it's going to start operating or running KCM. Then we also have the Mopani deal, which is a controversial deal in nature itself, because there are some sections of society, Mr. Simbiamba, that are saying this deal was supposed to be taken to Parliament so that the people of Zambia can be able to decide whether it's good for them or it's not good for them. However, that wasn't done. Mr. Simbiamba, you are aware of these concerns. Are these concerns genuine? If yes, indeed they are genuine, how are you addressing them?
To me, the genuineness in those concerned is when is Mopani beginning to operate.
Okay.
And when is Vindata coming, that the deal has been sealed, or the two deals have been sealed.
Okay.
To me, those are genuine concerns, but to say these deals are in fraud and what, I think these, to me, I would call them personally, I would call them that they are overstatements hinged on politicking, because for a long time Mopani has almost gone into oblivion. KCM, our friends, even took a shortcut in dealing with a corporate issue by pretending to effect a liquidation which they had no intent of liquidating.
Okay.
So, to me, what has happened, minister is on record, president is on record, and also the mine labor movements are on record. But there are a few friends of ours who are also entitled to an opinion, because there's freedom of speech and democratically, so they are entitled to their opinions. Let these deals be effected. If they fail, we will be held accountable. If we succeed, and when we succeed, people must come and say mwabombeni. At least if you think fiambo kubomba inchitona chisa, people are getting contracts and the like and so forth and so forth. It's very important. But those who are saying there's delay, yes, Minister Kabuswe, you are listening. Please up your socks. We want Vindata to be operational as at yesterday. We want Mopani to be as operational as at yesterday. The people need to get their things. People are being paid at KCM. Mopani, the suppliers are being paid. So really, when you say Tavali Filet sticker, I think sometimes whether it's hate speech or it's just Ulupato or it's an angry man, is angry, whatever. I don't know the English. I don't know.
Okay. Now, in a few minutes, Mr. Simuyemba, as of today, we saw an appointment coming through to Ethiopia. I want to find out, you are in a political alliance with the UPND, you are now a government in an alliance. Some of your colleagues, Mr. Simuyemba, have been appointed.
All of them at presidential level.
Thank you. It's good that it's coming from you. I didn't want
it's only me who has not been appointed.
What's happening, Mr. Simuyemba?
For me, I chose to remain and support Againde from the political side. I chose that. He would have appointed me if I so wished. But I thought we've got a lot of business to do also on the political side. A lot of business.
Okay. Don't you think this is the time that government needs you more than ever? You have done the political aspect of things, the time that you are in opposition as a government, as
we've got enough brains in government, and let's call a spade a spade. I'm aging. If you look at my age, I'm not a young fellow. We need the smarters, we need the young fellows to also in government. When are we going to train you? So I think the job that Simuyemba can take, if it's given to a young man, to me, I'm more than proud. And I will say, thank you very much, Mr. President, for having appointed this young man. I've got ministers who've been appointed from where I come from, Umbala, Mpurungu, Senga. They are ministers. Why should I be the minister when they are serving MPs who can serve as MPs? Do I have to go to president and tell him, no, president, there are these nominations that you need, 8 of them, give me one, so that I become a minister? No, that is not the way it works. It is to support this government and make sure that Abaiche now over somebody so that we give them a focus of the future, not where Fubakalambatre Karavati Wamuya Yawe Inshtanga Yapita Naipita into his number who support them so that at least we can, even if when we are dying today, we can say yes, Mwana chite na mwana chite na mwana chite bari mufifulo filia ali tungulu labanango. Okay. If we don't cultivate a cadre of leaders, when are we going to cultivate them? Hakainde has done very well. If you look at his appointments, they are very youthful. A few mix Jack Mwimbus, the likes of me, that is to buttress the Elvis Nkandus, they are young guys. The Minister of Justice, they are young guys. The age of my son. So why can't we be proud that these young men, qualified young men, are into office? So to me, the issue of appointments, I've been singing this to my alliance partners and colleagues. We can only have this space. We can't have it all. Even if you wanted to have it all, look, my political party itself, if you can say it's a small political party of no significance, suppose I had 20 graduates in my political party, all of them should be given jobs. Does it happen that way? It doesn't happen that way. 20 is a very small number. But what about another political party? What about the general citizenry of Zambians? President has said, I am not only for UPND, I'm not only for my alliance partner, I'm not only for my relatives, I am for each and every Zambian. And that truthfully is what the mandate is. Okay. So let's give this opportunity to every Zambian who deserve, especially the young ones, and of course the women. They've been marginalized for a long time. I think it's time, you see, we have a vice president who is a woman. Are we not proud? She's a seasoned politician, seasoned teacher. I saw her yesterday. I'm very proud teacher. Aren't we proud that we have a woman as a vice president? Surely. How best can we have it? Yes, others will be whatever. Yes, in Onge when I was given, we also have that one.
Okay. Mr. Sumiemba, thank you for the wise words and thank you for honoring our invitation. We do appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So, viewers, there you have it. That was my guest, Mr. Msenda Sumiemba. He is the Movement for Change and Equality president, making his way to the Lunchtime Cafe this particular afternoon. We go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the Lunchtime Cafe. Stay tuned.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Hey, join me, Amazing Katamanda, on the weekly gospel show for those exciting and interesting interviews with your favorite gospel
Hold on to me. Hallelujah.
And this time around, we are bringing to you entertainment news and the countdown, as you guys are able to nominate your top 3 favorite music videos of the week. Remember, it's every Saturday at 10:45. You can also catch repeats every Monday at 10 hours. Camnet TV is not just another time.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
It's time! Camnet TV brings to you an exciting kids show called My Creation. Join me, Sarah Chandamagazagia, to interact with kids with special skills and talents between the age range of 9 to 17. This show will come to you every Saturday at 13:30 on Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Okay, thank you so much for still joining us this particular afternoon. Now, in this session, we feature Mr. Manda Piri. He is the sales and marketing manager for Kariba Minerals, and he joins us this particular afternoon to discuss a number of issues pertaining to minerals, but also to the Lusaka Expo that will be taking place. Mr. Piri, good to see you and welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, good to have you here. Now, Mr. Piri, first things first, just kindly tell us about Kariba Minerals and its role within the ZCCM IH group.
Okay, so Kariba Minerals is a company that produces amethyst. Amethyst is a gemstone. I'm sure you know for other gemstones like You know, you have emeralds, you have diamonds, you have rubies. So amethyst is a purple stone, and we mine this stone from Apatisia in Southern Province. We are wholly owned by ZCCM IH, so we are 100% owned by ZCCM IH. So that's what we do as a business.
Okay, so you have mentioned amethyst, which is often associated with beauty and spirituality, obviously. How does Kariba Minerals ensure the quality and authenticity of its of this particular product or mineral?
Okay. Yeah, so we have a process that the stone goes through in terms of from the whole mining process to making sure that we have graders and sorters that will pick the right quality and the right grade. And we also have a quality control department which makes sure that every stone that we have mined, or every stone that we're putting out there on the market, is of quality. So in terms of the quality control, it's very authentic, and we assure people that it's a very quality stone that we're giving to them.
Okay, Mr. Piri, let's look at your contribution as Kariba Minerals to the community that you operate in, and Zambia at large. How has been your contribution?
Yeah, so I mean, as every company that works in a community, we want to be able to be relevant in the places that we work. We also want to contribute to what's happening in the community. I did mention that we are mining out of Apatisia. That's where our mine is. Apatisia is in Southern Province, so there are a few things that we do in terms of our CSR in the area. We support the local clinic that's there, whether it's in terms of supplying water or any other thing that they might need. Then there are a few other things that surrounding businesses do benefit from us. We also do employ quite a number of the local people in there. So that's our contribution to the community that we work in.
Okay. Now, how are you as a company incorporating sustainable practices into your operations? I'm asking this question because you are also partners of the Lusaka Business Expo Summit, and it has a theme that is focused on navigating carbon markets and technical solutions for climate smart business. This is why I'm asking this particular question, Mr. Pierre.
Well, that's a good question, and we're actually happy that this is a theme that the Lusaka Business Expo has, because on our part, we are in the process of launching our solar plant. It's a 200 kVA plant. This is what's going to power our mine. And once we fully launch that, we're expecting to launch that before the end of this quarter. Once we launch that, we know that it's going to significantly help us reduce carbon emissions. So that's our contribution to the environment, and just making sure that we are practicing safe mining procedures and processes.
Okay. And this collaboration with the Push Women Network, how does it align with your company values and objectives?
Look, the Push Women Network is driving change and innovation, and that's something that we're also looking at. So in terms of what we do, on top of the fact that we are mining the rough gemstone, we are also going into value addition. So our value addition products means that we'll be able to cut and polish stones. We'll be able to make other products from our amethyst products. We're able to make jewelry. If you happen to travel, you will see that we've got an outlet at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport where most of our products are being sold. And not only are we doing amethyst, but we are also going into other colored gemstones. So be it emeralds, be it citrine, be it aquamarine, we are also trying to add value to such stones and be able to sell through our platforms.
Okay. Mr. Piri, those that would want to attend or that are looking forward to attend the expo tomorrow are watching right now, what could be your message to them?
So my message to everyone that intends to come is please visit us. Come to the expo. We'll be expecting you. Our stand is there. We'll be able to showcase what we're doing in terms of our value addition products, but then also on the rough gemstone side. I would encourage you to come. I think this is something that's very important for the country, but then also for the city to be able to just know what businesses are out there. So we encourage you to come through, and you will find us there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Piri, thank you so much for coming through.
I appreciate having me here. I appreciate that you've given us the time to be able to speak to you about what we'll be able to do and showcase at the expo. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Okay, I was about to say I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Mr. Piri. Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so there you have it. That is Mr. Amanda Piri. He is the head sales and marketing from Kariba Minerals, making an appearance on the Lunchtime Cafe. Of course, talking about their partnership, Kariba Minerals partnership with the Push Women's Network at the Lusaka Business Expo at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, KK Wing. Please find your way there and let's support this noble cause. Thank you so much to you, the stakeholder, the viewer, for having found time to join us on this particular platform. I have been your host, Joe Smarter is my name. On behalf of my director, Mr. Elijah Chifita, we'll see you when you see us. Good afternoon.